let me do my work, let me do my job, let me help people out, make my money, and go home. That's all I be wanting to do, period.
Now I make money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now speak, that means I don't fuck with you. I'm a boss, you a worker, bitch.
Alright, hey material girls, how are you today? Alright, so the things I love about dental hygiene, definitely the fact that it's a career and not just a job. That's very important to me. I don't want to be tied down to anything, and the fact that I can go to school for around 4 years and have a career that I can move around with, you know, even like similar to dental assisting or being a paramedic, you know, like making sure that I have a career is so important to me, and being in a field where no matter what, there's job retention is a really great thing. I don't have to worry about, you know, job cuts and things like that. Like, I'm always going to have a job in any state or any part of the world that I move to. I'm still going back and forth about trying to move out of the country. I just want to try to do like maybe like a mission and go out to another country for like 2 or 3 weeks and try dental hygiene there. I know that some places have stopped doing that right now because of COVID, and I kind of stopped looking into it, but dental hygiene is a great career that you can move around with. I don't know how much I'll make in other countries though. Obviously, America and Europe make the most money basically, so next thing is a very flexible schedule. I have 4 to 5 days of work and I can travel. I really love that. As you may know, I'm a travel dental hygienist right now. I did have a 9 to 5 a few times during my career. I've been a hygienist for about 6 years now. And I don't know, it just be giving. The fact that I could just come to work whenever I feel like it, and be like, you know what, I don't want to work today. Like today I had a job, but I ended up not having to go. I still get paid, but I have time to do YouTube. I have time to work on my business. I have time to do whatever I want to do if I want to go out or sleep, you know, like, so I like the fact that dental hygiene is a job that you can work flexible hours. I know people who work in the afternoon, they work in the morning, but usually the most common hours you'll see are like a 9 to 5, a 8 to 4, or like an office that's open from like 11 to 7. It really just depends on the city you live in and the state you live in as well. If you live in like a busy city, then you'll see different types of hours. If you live in like a rural, like suburban city, then you'll really have to look for that. It's not as common. But yeah, I really love that. Travel hygiene also pays you more. And if you want to, I'm going to put a card right up here so you can watch my video about travel dental hygiene if you're interested in doing that. And I have links in the bio of that video about travel hygiene in that video too. So if you're interested in doing that, I suggest doing that throughout your career. And even if you're a new grad, I know some places you need at least 2 years experience. So check that video out if you haven't already for travel hygiene information. So yeah, flexible schedule allows me to have time for my other hobbies, for my business. The pay is good in most states as well for hygiene. Hygienists make anywhere from $28 to about $65 an hour. So that leaves us about $65K a year to maybe about $120K a year. And that's not including the ability to make commission on certain items. Like if you work in a private or a corporate office, if you work for just like a private means a doctor who owns the business itself, and corporate means a big place like Aspen Dental or something like that. That is a corporation. It's like the McDonald's of dental, actually. So I would not work there if I were you, but that's on you. If you need a job, you need a job. Anyway, the pay is really good in dental hygiene, and you can still make that type of salary only working 4 days. So as a female-based career, It's about 80% female, I would say. Don't quote me on those statistics, but this field of hygiene is very female based because we have the flexibility to have children, have school with our kids if we have kids, the ability to travel, the ability to manage businesses, and just be like woman bosses because we don't have to worry too much. I always compare this to like travel nursing, or in general, comparing this career to nursing is very similar, um, because you have flexibility in what you want to do with it. You know, you can teach, you can not only teach, but you can write books, you can be an author, you can work in a corporate setting, like work for Colgate and do sales. You know, in most of those situations, you have to be really built for that because sometimes you don't make more money necessarily. Um, and I did all of this with the associate's degree. So I don't have a bachelor's in anything. I don't have a bachelor's in dental hygiene either. Um, but don't get me wrong, it was very hard and very competitive to get into dental hygiene to begin with. So it's not like a, how would I say, it's not an easier way out, you know. But if you wanted to do like a higher paying job, like sales, or be a rep for a company that sell dental products, some most of the time they look for bachelor's degrees. So that's something you'll have to look into. Just check on LinkedIn and on Indeed and all of these websites for jobs and see what they require so you know exactly what track you need to be on. But in terms of practicing as a clinical hygienist, you only need an associate's degree in dental hygiene. So that takes about 2 years in clinical, but the prerequisites to get into dental hygiene take about a year or so. And yeah, the pay is good. That's the only reason why I'm still doing it, because everything else that I try to do, I don't know any job that's gonna pay me $75K a year with only a associate's degree. You know, um, I love the pay. I love the hours. If I have a patient that cancels, I can go home. You know, I can clean up. I can do whatever other task I need to do for the day in the office, but I can go home. If I don't have a patient, I could, you know, help out the rest of the team. I can try to fill my schedule. I can clean up, check inventory, you know, do what other duties are necessary for the office. But in general, I'll be chilling. I'll be in the break room chilling. You know, I'm not personally an employee at an office, so the offices I temp for, that I'm a temporary hygienist for, don't ask me to do anything, and they honestly can't because I'm just there to help out. And I'm not a lazy person. I help out when it's time to help people. But if you work for an office, you usually need to like pick up the slack and like do your ordering for your materials and your instruments and stuff like that, sharpen instruments. Like, they want to see you busy if you work at a job, so you don't have much downtime. But for me, I use that downtime to make TikToks, post TikToks. I use that downtime. I'm not telling you to use company time to do anything you shouldn't be doing, but do what you gotta do, sis. Do what you gotta do. This should have been the first thing. Like, I love helping people every day and feeling fulfilled. Like, I help someone in society. Um, this is no shade to anybody who works in this, because I used to. But when I worked at Macy's, when I worked at Bloomingdale's, when I worked at these places, I just didn't feel, it wasn't for me. So I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like sales was for me. I didn't feel right just putting clothes on a rack. Like, I hated it because I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm not saving the world doing this shit. Like, this is, people don't give a fuck, you know? So that was not for me, you know? Some people, they love retail, but I felt like that was just never for me. Like, I know I wanted a degree in something, and I wanted to do something that would change people's lives. And I feel really compelled to help people every day. There's some people, patients that I see that I just cannot help, like, and it's just their situation, or they don't really have the know-how or the understanding to help. But I like the fact that probably about 5 out of the 8 patients that I see a day, I know I help them in some kind of way by teaching them something, by giving them knowledge that they never known about, or making them feel good about their day. Because as hygienists, we're therapists, um, we're we're just everything to the staff, the patients, and everything. And the patients especially get really attached to us, and we end up being like almost family to them, you know. So I really like helping people. That is my main thing. Helping someone. I meet young students all the time who are super inspired. Or not even students, adults who are in another career field, you know. And I know most of you here, if not already, are interested in doing dental hygiene. And you're like, I want to do this so bad. I've been wanting to do it. I don't know how to get started. Or I applied to a school and it didn't work out. Like, you know. Next thing is, I love that I work independently. I am under the doctor's supervision when I'm working, so I still work underneath my license, but at the end of the day, I still work underneath the dentist license. But at the end of the day, I have my own schedule, my own column, and unless the patient has an exam, which is like when the doctor comes in and checks your teeth, if the patient does not have that, because most offices only do dental exams once a year, just because it's not really necessary unless the patient is higher risk of having cavities. Also, x-rays are only taken once a year unless the office chooses to do x-rays every 6 months, or if the patient is high risk. But that's a whole nother conversation that I can talk about in another video, where I feel like things are just done clinically sometimes that are just over the top. But yeah, I love the fact that my schedule is just mine. So if all day all I have is Profies, which is just like a regular healthy mouth cleaning, I don't have to go look for nobody. Like, I could take as much time as I want. I don't have to have time management skills to factor in time that I have to wait for the dentist to come out of the room from whatever procedure they're doing, you know. I like the fact that my work isn't checked over too much. I just do what I need to do, and that's it, you know. So I love that, because I'm the type of person where I don't like to be fucking micromanaged, okay? I hate being micromanaged. I don't want anybody messing with me. Leave me alone. Let me do my work. Let me do my job. Let me help people out, make my money, and go home. That's all I be wanting to do. Period. Period. You know. Last thing about what I love is seeing all the different types of patients, different type of cultures, and just getting the ability to network, meet new people. Like, I've met people that in a perfect world we probably would be really good friends. Like, we just vibed really well. And I've met people who own different businesses or in different career fields. They moved from somewhere. They taught me something just from a short conversation that I just didn't know about. And it was just so interesting, you know, like something about like people. Maybe I should have studied like cultural anthropology or something, but I just love people. I love different cultures, and I just love helping people. So talking to somebody about something fun or exciting is just so interesting to me. So yeah, so those are the things I love about dental hygiene. My battery's about to die, so I'm gonna start a new video on the things I hate about dental hygiene, and I'll get into that. But I thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about anything that I discussed in this video, or just in general, I'll leave all my information below that you can contact me through email. Or if you have a business inquiry and you want to sponsor your girl for something that you're selling, or you see my TikToks and my YouTube and you want to just like be in it, then let me know. Alright, so I'll see you guys in part 2. And if you have any other questions, just check out my playlist on dental hygiene and my vlogs too. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Bye.
Make money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now speak, that means I don't fuck with you. I'm a boss, you a worker, bitch. I make